Hi, Introduction to Agriculture Education students. Today what we're going to be doing is the swine vocabulary. With the swine vocabulary, some of these you may have, some of these you may not have, but we will be working through from A down to double D. With that, let's start off with more than one breed. In swine production, we usually do more than one breed, or we do what's called crossbreeding. So we use the word crossbreeding, which is somewhere within here. There's a pure breed, and crossbreeding allows us to utilize the best of more than one breed. So we take one pure breed, or a breed of pigs that is single, and we cross them with another pure breed, and that crossbreeding creates what is called heterosis. Heterosis is the amount of improvement progeny have over their parents. Heterosis is the idea of getting better offspring than what your parents are. You do have to have pure breeding to do this, because then you know what to expect from your offspring. So then when you take two of them, you can expect a cross between the two, and some of those crosses are actually even better than what the original parents are. And that's what we do with our pigs. Like the pigs we usually get in the classroom are going to be crossbreeds between a Landrace and a Hampshire is a good example. All of these pigs that are crossbreed or purebred in commercial settings, they are raised in confinement buildings. What that confinement building means is that they are inside. They are indoors for their whole entire time, and they're getting fed a high in energy feed called soybean meal. So soybean meal is a high energy feed that you take the oil out and you leave the protein left into the soybean, and you feed them that. Oh shoot, I got that wrong. Oh yeah, I do. It's supposed to be, that's a concentrate feed. So we're going to feed them concentrates. Concentrates are either high in energy or protein. Specifically, the high in protein one that we feed is soybean meal. The high in energy that we feed pigs is corn. So unlike the beef cattle where we would feed them a roughage, pigs we do not feed a roughage because they are monogastric. Monogastric means they have one compartment to their stomach. The whole idea of feeding then is a lot different than our ruminant animals in our beef. When we continue through this, the whole pure breed and crossbreeding the animals gives us an opportunity to increase our genetics. Our genetics are further increased by the idea of artificial insemination. The artificial insemination allows producers to choose pure breeds not even from their own farm. They can go off and they can buy semen from other groups, and then you can collect it from that particular producer's boars, and then inseminate them into the sows that you want to. Once you inseminate them, pigs will be pregnant for 114 days. That is their length of gestation. After the gestation, they will give birth. They will give birth to about 8 to 12 piglets. When the pigs give birth, it's called farrowing. Farrowing means to give birth. Those 8 to 12 piglets will be weaned. Where are we at? Look for weaning date. Awesome, right there. They will be weaned after about 21 to 28 days. We will be feeding them about 2 pounds, or about 3 pounds for every 1 pound of meat. This is called feed conversion. Pigs have a very good feed conversion, like chickens. Cattle don't have quite as well because we don't feed them as high of material and they just aren't as good. But piggies have a great feed conversion. So after we wean them, we're going to be taking them off of milk, and we will be putting them onto another high concentrate diet, and their feed conversion will be pretty good in the way that the pig will then grow to about 275 to 250 pounds. That's their finish weight. After they have reached that 275 pounds, they then will go on to be finished. During the time that they're not getting this high concentrate feed grain and they're still on the mother for those 21 to 28 days, they will be getting milk. Sows do milk or provide milk, and we do want to get sows that do produce a lot of milk. And that producing of milk is called lactating. When you have taken the sow and weaned it, or the piglets have been weaned off of the sow, she will come directly into heat, or what is called estrus. That heat is then when she is receptive to the male, and she will then be she will have a good chance of becoming pregnant again. You will either be receptive to the male, or in pig's case, generally it's not to the male, it's actually to the artificial inseminator. This allows people to have more than one litter of pigs a year. It's actually 2.3 litters of piglets per year. So she's going to be producing 2.3 litters per year, and each time she's going to give birth to about 8 to 12 piglets. They then will they'll be weaned off the mother, and then they will, for about 15 weeks, that doesn't seem right. 15 weeks goes somewhere else. 6 months, no, that's about right. 15 weeks, they will then, after they've been weaned, so after 21 days, they're taken off the lactating mother. She will come right into heat, and those piglets that we weaned will go to a operation where they are finished, and that's called where is it at? I don't have it. A feeder pig operation. That is where they are going to when the operation, the weans are finished, they're going to go to a feeder pig operation, to where then the weaned pigs are finished off into that 270 to 250 pounds. If you just have an operation that is just the sows giving birth, you have what is called a farrowing operation. If you have all of them together, which is a lot of what our pig producers are now doing, they do everything farrow to finish, or some producers don't do farrow to finish, and they only do the specialized ones there. But if they do farrow to finish, it means that they have an operation where the pigs are born, weaned, and finished at the same time. Or at the same operation, sorry. We then move into some of our different cuts of meat, and with our different cuts of meat, you have ham, which is generally tough, and it is a tough meat where ham is from. It's called the, really confusing, ham. Your loin is along the back, and it is where your tenderloins are going to be from. After they've been finished, after that 275 to 250 pounds, and we finish them off, they're going to, I have two periods. Then have the hams cut up, then they're going to have their loins cut up. They're also going to have their Boston butt cut up, which is the top part of the scapula, and then you're going to have your picnic shoulder, which is the bottom part of the scapula or the shoulder. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So then we have our picnic shoulder, and our picnic shoulder then leads us into bacon. Bacon's from our belly. And after our bacon from our belly, where are you at? There it is. It's also a tough meat. We then have, just like in the cattle, we had different, like prime was the best, and then you had choice, which was the second best, and then select, which was the third best. In piggies, you have the same thing, And with our piggies, you judge that at the 10th rib. Pigs are going to have some controversy. One of the controversies is that how they are raised. Since they're all indoors, that's one controversy. Some individuals think that pigs should be raised outdoors and in freedom. That lowers the amount of efficiency. We can raise so much pork and be so efficient because we do raise them like we do. It's not that it's wrong, it's that it's efficient. And so we raise them like we do all indoors in those confinements, from gestation through farrowing, through weaning, through every part of the hog production is indoors, because we want to protect those pigs. We further make protection for the sows, and those are called gestation crates. Gestation crates would be kind of fun for you guys to Google search what a good gestation crate looks like, because you might understand the argument against them. But they're there because they provide confinement for the sow against other sows and make it more efficient in our production. We can raise more pigs per square foot, and we can protect each individual pig so that they don't get hurt by the other pigs. Then we have the same sort of concept in what is called farrowing crates, where we put the pigs, after we move them out of the gestation crate, we move them into what's called the farrowing crates, where they will actually farrow. These are your swine notes, where we start off with genetics. We feed them high concentrate feeds, and then move into a little bit of how those high concentrate feeds can either finish them off or feed them so that they can have more piglets. They have 2.3 litters a year, so that's like 20 pigs or up to like 30 pigs on the good producing pigs a year. Those 30 pigs then spend about 15 weeks being finished off to that 275 pounds. We will cut up that pig into different sections, all of which are pretty tough except for the loin, and we raise them all indoors. I've left this one open for you guys to investigate on your own with your own hyperlink. Hope you enjoyed today's lecture about swine vocabulary.